Ever wondered how PHP and object-oriented programming works? How do PHP frameworks function? And what happens inside the laravel? Don't worry, we will start from the basic. And just watch patiently. I guarantee you will master the PHP and your foundation will be super strong. Let's begin. First, I am starting from the very basic, just creating some file, and I am using the Apache server on the Linux environment. Let's create an index.php file. Okay, making this PHP file, and now I'm going to the terminal and just starting the Apache default server. My localhost server, and here it is. This is hello world. Okay, so our server is now up and running. This works basically, the all type of request is redirect into the index.php. So we can manage it by .htaccess file, URL redirect condition. So we are in the local host and local server. We are up running the Composer default server. So this if I type any URL and if I hit to the any type of URL, so our request will redirect into the index.php. If I type about, which is doesn't exist in my project, it will works. If I type any kind of string, so it will redirect into the index.php. So basically, why we are selecting this approach? It will provide us the handling the controller, you know what I mean, and the database management and the view, which I mean the HTML content. So that's why we are all type of request and URL request, HTTP request redirect into the index.php, so that we can isolate it and integrate it our condition, our libraries. Yeah, so that's why we are selecting this approach, and this is the beauty of the framework and the MVC framework. That's how frameworks work. So don't worry, the actual fun we will explain the later. Just stay with me. Okay, now we are going to see the PHP super global array that contains some information. This is called server. Okay, so we want to see the what inside the server global array. We want to format our output. We are using printing the pre first. So so to debugging the PHP code array object, we can use printer or var dump. Okay, we are using printer to debug. And come back to the browser and refresh. Okay, zoom out. Yeah, okay, and you can see the some information inside the server global array. This is the PHP's default predefined keyword $_server, and we can see the some information. This is an associative array, key value appears. Okay, we know the PHP array contains one-dimensional, two-dimensional, multi-dimensional array, and another array is associative array. That is key and value. Okay, so we are using the most important information, request URI, and we are getting the port and server name. Okay, and the many of information, browser information. So we are taking the only the request URI and request method. We know the HTTP method we can use get, post, put, pass, delete. Okay, so every individual method has a different meaning and different purpose. So by typing through the URL we can get the get method, we can use the get method. First of all, we are storing in the variable. Let's use the URI variable server request URI. Okay, we are getting some suggestion by the editor. And another variable method server use request method. Okay, if we print this URI and using the breakline method and come back to the browser, refresh, and here it is. We are getting the output of request URI and the request method. Okay, and we can test using the postman. If we hit the post method, post request inside the URL using this URL, so we will getting the post request, post method, put method, pass method. So if we change the URL and if we type the about me, and you can see the URL. Okay, if we type the post and we are getting the URI, request URI. So this is the interesting thing we gonna demonstrating the next video. Okay, so instead of iterating every single page viewing a couple of minutes ago, first we are using the about.php, index.php, post.php, creating the individual page. So we can put the routing. So we are getting implemented the routes method and writing some condition. If URI equal slash and method equal get, this is home page. Okay, and if we type the home page, refresh, this is home page. And another things, else if using multiple if else statement, URI equals about and method equal get. Okay, this is about page. If none of them and if there is no URL found, so we will throw the HTTP 404 exception, or we will echo the 404. Else statement echo 404 page not found. Yeah, and back to the browser and type, go to the about page, and this is about page. Good. And if we type the unknown page URL that's not registered in the route, and yeah, we are getting the 404 page. This is 404 page not found. Interesting. This is the good. So we can more dynamic and reusable approach instead of using the repeatedly multiple if-else statement. So we can keep those URL and the statement inside the array. So let's make it better than the multiple if-else statement. If we using in the large project, so we we have to use the multiple if else statement repeatedly for the home page, about page, post details page. Okay, so let's store this routes inside the array. So I'm declaring an array. And inside array, taking the method get, and inside get method we are using the associate the home page using, and put the message home page. I'm just explaining the from basic to advanced. We are going to the advanced feature. Just stay with me. This is not the way. We will use the better way. So step by step we will implement the best approach, which is dynamic, and we will iterate the object-oriented programming using this PHP. So we have another method. We can use the post. For now we are not using post. For testing we are using the test method. Okay, so just keep this in empty. So routes path equal routes method. You can use is set, or we can use the null closing operator, or false. If path is 404 is not found. So come back to the browser. This is 404 page not found. If we go to the home page, and this is home page, right? And type this about. This is the about page. Okay, and type post page. Okay, so we are already stored in the routes. So we are getting the output what we are stored in the routes. And then this is the most efficient instead of using the multiple if else statement. We no need to use multiple if else, just keep store inside the array. And this approach also has a limitation, so we cannot use the condition. So writing the condition inside the array, controllers view, or the callback function. So that's why we have to use the object oriented method. So let's use the object oriented approach. So we are just using an class route.php. okay, the type of the laravel. First we are using we are keeping this array, so we will put this array inside our route class. Okay, so we are deleting this and remove this. Private static array routes. Okay, and define the get method public first we are getting a string path and callable return type void. So we are putting the get callback. Same as the post function. Using get and post, we just storing our routes inside the routes array. First we are including the class required ones. So we are using route get home page. The same you copy this about page. Yeah, if we run, we are not getting any output or any error because we are not printing or returning, because using the get and post method we are just storing the values inside the routes array. So last thing we can call the resolve method. Resolve. Echo the resolve. If we type the hello from resolve route class, so we can refresh hello world from the resolve route class. Okay, so now we can run the execute. We can match the request URI and request method, then return the expected output. Path equal, we are using the super global array of PHP. Request URI are method equal request method. So now we can check whether it is exist or not. If self route method is set, and method and path exit. Method path. If is set, so we can return the expected output. Return else return 404 is not found. If we refresh, post 404 page not found because post page doesn't register. So post already registered. Okay, we are storing the lowercase and we are getting the uppercase method, so we can request method make it lowercase. Okay, and refresh. Fatal error, object of type closure. So we are getting we are passing the callback function. Okay, if we die and dump our output, object closure. So we are getting the closure. So if we get the closure, we can use the call user func method. The PHP default function, library function, call user func. Okay, so refresh and the post page, and we going to the home page. This is the home page, and type the about, getting the about page. And if we type the unknown page, we're getting the 404 page. Okay, so we can use the try catch method. We can throw the 404 exception. Okay, so if we register our routes, and it will easy to read and the more readable and dry code, it is reusable. Okay, instead of using the array. So object-oriented programming provides us more flexibility and it's easy to maintain. So we can create our pages, views, home.php page. Okay, play with CDN. So home page we can return, we can use and home, insert the home page and refresh. Okay, this is our home page. So inside home page we can change the color, text red. instead of returning, we can include our view. Go to the about page. Okay. You can make a post page. And register return post. This is post page. Yeah. So instead of using the multiple time include, so we can use the view. So now I can use the helper file function. PHP function does exist now. If function doesn't exist, you can copy. It should be string. So another thing missing, we need to return. So this is from the PHP. We can make it more flexible in only the view name, no need to use the PHP extension. It will add the itself. Refresh. Yeah, it is working. So you can copy this for the wall page. Then about, post. Okay, so you can go to the about page, post page. Great, this is good things. Later we can create an auto loader instead of using the recursors repeatedly. So for this time it's well enough. So step by step we can create an MVC framework. So you can visit my packages URL. I have created a Sonra framework like Laravel. You can just type create composer, create project, kokonc/chandra myf. Okay, so then you can get a project like a laravel, and you can by browsing my code you can learn many things, how the object oriented works and manage. Okay, that's it. Thank you.